Running a little behind, so just give me a second while I finish eating. Get going here. What's up, Randy? Ready for some football talk? Just finishing up eating, and I'll be right there. All right. Let's get this ball rolling. Let me see how loud I am. Hopefully I'm not too loud. But we're gonna just roll with it tonight. Nothing crazy. All right, let me minimize that. All right. We're going to do the intro after I throw this shit away right here. So, I'll give me 1 second. Randy, I'll be right back. And the rest of you. And I'll start the show officially when I get back. Throw this away. Oh, I got a new follow. I'll be right back for that follow, whoever that was. All right. Sorry about that. A little behind on that part, but and that's exactly why I need to clean my room. All right. Oh, what's up, Aaron? Aaron followed me. What's up, Maryland? Wolves, technically. All right. Let's talk some football. First of all, I wanted to go off on and talk about. Oh wow, we got some people coming in here. I love it. Wanted to sit here and first of all talk about. Obviously, I'm a Patriots fan, but I wanted to get this started. So let's do it officially. And start it with what's up, Twitch world? It's your boy Nightmare 10 once again, and I'm back with a special edition. I think the first time ever being on Twitch of YouTube Take. Just me tonight. Big Rat might actually be watching the Miami game. I'm not even sure. I mean, obviously he's watching the game. I mean, he might be live. I don't know. I don't remember. But college football, real quick about that. I don't have a whole lot to talk about with that. But the one thing I do want to talk about is my picks currently. Obviously the Miami Ole Miss game is going on right now. I think it's tied 10-10 last I checked. Hold on, let me open up a new window. But Miami just scored again? Oh, wow. Okay, so they just scored again. So there's your live break thanks to Randy. I have Miami winning that game, and I have, let me pull it. I don't know why I can't get, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. I should have already had this up. I'm sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so yeah, 17-10 Miami. Thank you, Randy. 17-10 Miami currently. The next game is I thought this game was actually tomorrow night, but apparently it's tonight. I mean, I already knew that go before the show, obviously. But the next game is, let's see, when is it? The next game is, oh, maybe the next game is tomorrow night. Okay, there we go. The next game is tomorrow night, and it's Oregon, Indiana, and I have Indiana, who previously beat Oregon, winning that game. So it'd be Indiana and Miami, and I don't really honestly care who wins that one. Miami's the only team left that has ever won a national championship, so that's pretty cool. So we'll see how that works out. Oh, excuse me, sorry. I'm a little out of breath for some reason. But yeah, so I don't have a whole lot to talk about when it comes to the college football playoff. I want to talk about the NFL, its playoff bracket, break that down. Even though it's not really a bracket, so I don't know why they call it a playoff bracket, because it's a little different. But we'll go through that. In fact, let's see. I'll actually show the screen of what I'm looking at here in a minute. Ooh, excuse me. Man, it's got a drink. All right, so I was gonna say something, but now I forgot. Typical, right? A couple things that with college, I'll wait. You know, there's some off-season things that we've done as a Gamecock fan. Not the Colts. Wow. Coastal signed a new head coach, so we'll see how that goes with that. I have no real thoughts about it because I don't know enough about him to make a real thought. I just am glad we have a new coach, and we'll see what that opens up for us. By the way, feel free to ask questions in the chat. Those are like Randy or anyone else, but please keep it football, NFL related, because that's what we're about to go to, and we're going to keep to that. And I'm going to start off with a tiny little, not rant, but why I believe Drake May should be the MVP. Let's just start with that. Now, there have been weeks that I would have said Matthew Stafford would be the MVP. He lost that from me when the team did not get the number 1 seed or win their division. Because I'll look it up if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it, because I did like it, but I've liked a lot of stuff on Twitter. So while I'm talking, I'll look for it. But the biggest glaring thing is that I think it's I'll look and correct myself if I'm wrong, but a 1 or 2 seed, a player on a 1 seed or a 2 seed in the playoffs. Let me get my breath. Or get my thoughts together, has won the MVP in the last, I want to say 10 years. I'm going to keep scrolling down until I find it, because I want to make sure that I'm not, usually there's someone looking it up while you're talking kind of thing. It's just me, so I'm rolling off the cuff here, so forgive me for that. I'm going to keep scrolling. I know it's in here somewhere. But yeah, I think that if that stat, okay, here it goes. All right, so this is, let's see. It looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Last 12 years, since 2013, the MVP winner, has been a quarterback every time. So we all know there's only 2 people in this. And every single MVP since 2013 has either been the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed. And that's the issue where I have with the Stafford thing. I think that should end it right there, because it's ended it with so many other people. Lamar last year, I could make the argument that he should have gotten it. But he wasn't the 1 seed. I'm pretty sure the Ravens weren't the 1 seed. I don't remember them being the 1 seed last year. They were the 1 seed in 2023. So Lamar won it that year. Josh Allen, 2024. Now, the problem is this isn't a true MVP award, because the truth of the matter is if it was a true MVP award, a lot of these winners that have won every year would not win it. But it's basically the best quarterback on the best team. Pretty close, unless the quarterback is not the biggest focal point of that team. Bo Nix is not even in the conversation. Sam Darnold should be in the conversation, but he's not. So then you have, the 2 seeds. So the 2 seeds are, of course, the Patriots. And then on the other side, we have the Bears. And I think Caleb Williams is not getting enough love. I will say that Caleb Williams seems to not be getting a lot of the talk, and he should be. He should be up there for sure. It should be a little closer in that regard. But I understand his stats aren't what Stafford and Drake May are. But I will say this: like, you have to make sure you're consistent. And I get it. Look, Stafford, like this poor man's argument about, well, Stafford has, doesn't have as many years left. Drake has plenty of time. Okay, well, we didn't have that argument when Patrick Mahomes won it young. We didn't have that argument when Lamar Jackson won it young. So why are we now making that argument just because we have Stafford? Now granted, it has, without my memory serving me right, like there's been a ton of, there hasn't been that perfect example like there is this year. As far as the young versus the old quarterback, the top two candidates. Now the odds thing, if I don't know, I don't know enough about that situation. Whereas like, okay, is the odds on favorite always the one that wins MVP after the last week of the season? You'd have to look that up. I don't know. I'm not gonna waste time to look that up, because I don't feel like it's all that important. Because I think the odds are shifted so much that I think that Vegas doesn't even know who's going to win. And Stafford has a little of a favorite. But after week 18 and I'm talking about either way, should not have influenced it at all. And unfortunately, the world we live in is going to influence it somewhat, because that's just the world we live in. Week 18, Stafford padded his stats, and May was out, I think, early in the third quarter. So now, I'm not saying that May didn't pad his stats the week before, but it's week 17. There's a lot still on the line. And the biggest thing, too, is when Stafford needed to deliver, he didn't. And if this was a Tom Brady argument, people would be so... If this was, not say Drake May, but let's just insert another young quarterback, and this was Tom Brady on the other side, let's just face the facts. No one would want Tom Brady to win the MVP. It's only because it's Matthew Stafford. And I get that. He's a likable guy. I like Stafford. This isn't an anti-Stafford sentiment. It's just Drake May should win MVP. He's the true MVP. And if you want to keep the award like it's supposed to be, why break it for Matthew Stafford's 5th seed Rams, who could, who could lose at home to the Panthers? It's odd. When I say lose at home, they lose away, I guess, because, they didn't win their division. That's a whole other thing. But anyways, I don't want to rant too long about that. I just want to, be very, very, very clear that Drake May, biased or not, I'm biased, so don't ask me. Ask other people. But it just seems like now that the regular season is over, the voting is done, by the way. So there's no influencing anything at this point based on what they do in the playoffs. That's why they do it like this. And I don't think, there's obviously the MVP curse. Like, I was going to Google that, actually. MVP curse. Because I was going to see. I can't remember. I think, actually, Patrick Mahomes was the one that... Yeah, I was going to say he broke it. The NFL MVP curse refers to the trend of recent NFL MVP and winners failing to win the Super Bowl in the same season, often losing in the playoffs. So it lasted from 1999 until 2023, where Mahomes broke it. The curse saw MVPs like Kurt Warner in 2001, Rich Gannon in 2002, Tom Brady in 07 and 17. Both. Well, one of those was the Giants. The other one was the Eagles. Peyton Manning in 09 and 13, Cam Newton in 2015, and Matt Ryan, of course, the infamous in 2016, reached the Super Bowl but lose or get eliminated early on. So, not that I'm going to give a lot of time to the NFL MVP curse. Last year's MVP, of course, being Josh Allen, didn't win the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson didn't win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, it says 2023, but 2022. Yeah, I'm not sure why that says 2023 Patrick Mahomes. Maybe because the year in which he was given the award, but it was for the 2022 season. So, anyways, I'm just saying that from a Patriots standpoint, would I want him to win MVP? I mean, it's not the end all be all. I want the Super Bowl ring, like 100%. That's what I want. But anyways, I don't know. I'm probably not making a sound argument tonight. I just something I wanted to mention. And yeah, I just wanted to I think Drake May deserves to be MVP. I think his stats speak for itself. I think I could spit 100 million different facts, but one of the final things I'll say is Matthew Stafford has Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and Devontae Adams, all, by the way, selected to the Pro Bowl, which I understand the Pro Bowl is not what it is, but it's still, there's still some points to that. Because, because, the facts of the matter are that they are what they are. We have Stephon Diggs, who's great. And I'm not depleting. I think our receiving core is definitely underrated. But that being said, it's still not what Matthew Stafford has. And I love Mike Vrabel, but it's his first year with New England. And Sean McVay has a Super Bowl ring, and an appearance in a Super Bowl. Who did he lose to in that Super Bowl? Oh yeah, that's right, the Patriots. So I mean, my point is he's a really good coach. I just had to make a jab at him, because he's done jabs at us as well. Anyways, all right, let's get to the NFL playoffs. The goal was, however long the show went. If people aren't in here, I'll end it probably whenever I'm done talking. But if people are in here and they want to ask questions, then it may go to 10 o'clock. But I'm definitely putting a cap on it at 10 o'clock. But we'll see. It may just be a 30-minute show. And then I will reset the stream for whatever I decide to play as far as video games. So, but anyway, so let's get to the thing. Let's see if I can switch this. I know I can. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. If you go to gameplay, all right, there we go. Well, I'm blocking it, so that's unfortunate. Let's see if I can. My camera's gonna be blocking it on this. Yeah, you can't really see it on that part. Actually, you know what? If we minimize that, you'll see my background, but that's fine. Let's get it where you can see it, like right there. All right, there you go. That works. All right, let's do that for now. Check out the games in the corner. All right, so here are the matchups round one, and then of course, it says, if you can see it, under the Broncos and Seahawks. If you don't know this, it shows who that they would play the lowest remaining seed. So of course, if certain teams win, aka the 7th seed, they're instantly playing the Broncos, or they're instantly playing the Seahawks. Just in case someone is watching doesn't know, because it's possible. It's possible they don't know. Okay, so let's look at this here. All right, so first matchup, and we'll go in the order that does it show the date? Yeah, okay. We'll go with the first game is January 10th. Is that Friday? No, those are Saturday games. I think these two are Saturday games. I think. No, yeah, because this is a Monday night game. Okay, yeah. So the first two, we'll go on this side of the. We'll just go. Well, let's keep it to the side. Let's not keep it to the day that they're doing the games. But you can see here the times, and if you can't see it because it might be too small for you, hopefully you know what the times is. But I'll shout it out. So Saturday is Panthers-Rams at 4:30, and then the night game is Bears-Packers. That's the 4 and 5 seed, and then the 2 and 7 seed. And then on Sunday, we will have the first game. I believe is the Jags-Bills. The 3 versus the 6. And then there is the 4:30 3 versus 6 Eagles-Niners. And then January 11th, that's the same day. I don't know why I said the date. At night, my New England Patriots will face off against the Los Angeles Chargers. Also, don't be confused. The home team is the top team, actually, on all these. I'm not sure why they posted it like this, but whatever. All right, so I wanted to look too. So conference championship weekend. Yeah, it's usually my birthday weekend. Okay, that's the weekend it's going to be. All right, so let's see. Let's do NFC first. Okay, so we'll go down the line. Panthers-Rams is an interesting one because obviously the Panthers upset the Rams earlier in the season. So I think there's issues there, or there's that, that kind of. I'm trying not to show this. There we go. Get rid of the ads part of that, even though you can see the top, but that's ESPN. But yeah, so I would go with. It's easy to go with the team that, okay, well, they won last time, and the Rams aren't exactly hot right now. I mean, yeah, granted, Week 18 they did destroy the Cardinals. Division foe, kind of the same thing as us destroying the Dolphins or us destroying the Jets. Is there a lot of merit in that as far as, that's what you're supposed to do. So losing that game would have been a big red flag. But especially when those teams clearly don't want to win. That's another aspect of that too. What else? I'm losing my thoughts tonight. Sorry, guys. But that being said, I think that the Panthers also, by the way, they definitely lost going into the playoffs. They kind of got lucked out by a tiebreaker that helped them out. They did not beat the Bucks on Saturday, so they did not win their way in. They got in via a tiebreaker thanks to the Falcons winning. And I have something all over my glasses. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to clean that while I'm talking. But as far as on paper, both teams, like Carolina plays a lot better at home. They play these Rams at home, by the way. They've seen this Rams team before. But that being said, the two rosters, it's hard for me not to pick Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua. All over my glasses again. I can't fix it. And Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams and, good offensive line, good coaching, a solid defense. So it's hard for me not to pick them, and that's why I have to pick the Rams here. Sorry, shout out to Haley, who I know is a huge Panthers fan, and a couple of my friends are as well. But I have to say it's the Rams taking this one, and they're moving on. They're the 5th seed, so we'll see if who they play in the next matchup based on what I have. And I will go through the bracket as if my bracket picks are right, but I will want to come back and make more picks, or the correct picks, for games that I got wrong. So I'll go still week to week, even if I'm wrong or right or whatever. I might make changes as well. So keep that in mind. All right, so quick little. All right, so yeah, I've got Rams beating the Panthers. I'm not going with spreads, so enter at your own risk if you're doing spreads. I do have to pick these games based on. Do I have to pick them based on spreads? Oh, I might have to pick them in a certain little thing I'm doing. So, anyways, but I'm going with the Rams. This doesn't show the spread, so I don't really care. All right, Eagles Niners. A lot of people are just giving up on the Eagles. And I understand that the Eagles have woes, but their defense is what's going to get them far, and their defense is better than any defense probably in this entire playoff, arguably. I think they are. The Niners have not looked great at times. They've looked good at times. If they get Fred Warner back for this game, that could be a big difference. But it isn't in Philly, and I just think the Niners got a bad matchup. And I think the Niners season that they overachieved in is going to come up short, and the Eagles are going to win. Therefore, already before we get to the last game, that would guarantee. Well, it wouldn't guarantee. Never mind, I'm dumb. It would not guarantee the Eagles would play the winner of the next game. So never mind. So I have Rams, then I have Eagles. So I have away team winning the first game and home team winning the second game. Then we have Bears Packers, which I'm going to be honest, man, I have no idea, and I actually need to look at something real quick. And I'm going to show it while we're looking at it because I don't care. I need to see the remind myself who's won the two matchups. Let's see. So they lost once to the Packers early in the year, and that was at Green Bay. And then they won at home 22-16. Both games were a touchdown or less. So that's pretty big. Now, everyone is all in on the Bears, right? But like prime time, if the Packers, now I don't know if Jordan Love is healthy. I do need to look that up actually. I don't want to give spotlight to random Twitters, but let me look it up on my phone. Let's see here. Let's just see if I see anything. I say random Twitters because I was just gonna search on Twitter Jordan Love and see what actually, and I didn't want anything else to pop up. That's why I said that, just so we're clear. It looks like this NFL on primetime is promoting him. So Malik Willis is actually expected to miss, according to this tweet that I just saw. So Jordan Love's definitely playing, is what I was wanting to confirm. So Jordan Love's in. He's 100% playing. Michael Parsons is not, of course. I do think this one was tough to call. because it's a division game and it's the rubber match, so really it could go either way. So I'm just gonna lean towards the home team in this scenario because the home team has won both their both of the matchups in the regular season. So I'm gonna go with the Bears, which would then now, but I'm not. This is one that would not be surprised. Now, really, the only one I mean, all of these matchups would not surprise me because Stafford hasn't played well at times. So I mean, if he had a bad game and he played like he did last time he played the Panthers, I could see the Panthers winning as well. Same thing with the Niners. Maybe the Eagles' defense doesn't show up like I expect them to, and their offense is really bad, and the Niners, are able to score more on them. So a lot can happen there. But I've still got the Rams, I've got the Eagles, and I've got the Bears. So I've got all. There only being one upset as far as seeding goes, and only one away team winning in the NFC. So that would then put the Rams versus Seattle. So they get that rematch. And it would be the Bears and the Eagles, which they also, I believe, played this season, I want to say. Let me check because I have the worst memory in the world. They did play. Where are they at? They did not? They're right here. They beat the Eagles 24-15. So that would be, and that was in Philly, so Bears aren't scared to win there, but that would be a huge game. But we'll come back to that. So first round in the AFC, this is the last game of wild card weekend, but I'm still going to pick it first. Steelers Texans. Once again, both defenses put them in the game. TJ Watt's going to play, so the Texans defense though is scary good. I would still not be surprised if the Steelers won this game. I mean, you're going Monday Night Football in that weather. Like the Texans, are they legit? Well, this is one of those. This is kind of a game that you're going to find out real quick if they are or not. That's just the truth of the matter of that. So I say, are they legit? I meant, like, are they as scary as I think they are? I got the Texans winning this game. Sorry, Emma, but that's just what I have, and I'm proven wrong. I mean, I would not, like I said, once again, not be shocked at any outcome this weekend. There's only one that would shock me, and I'll get that. Not shock me, but it would shock me if I'm being completely honest, and I have to be honest here on this show. So I have the Texans beating the Steelers on the road, so I have both 5 seeds winning. Didn't realize that till just now. Then we have the Jags and the Bills. This is a hard. Like I thought, like I was like the Jags have to be somewhat legit. Like they have to be what they look like lately, and they look really, really good. They beat Denver in Denver, which a lot of people will get to that in a minute. A lot of people are kind of overhyping Denver as well. Even people want to talk about the Patriots week schedule. Well, Denver's right behind them. So, anyways, I think this game is big. I think it depends on. It definitely depends on. Or not depends on. Sorry, it's definitely a lot is riding on this because I think if the Bills lose this game, I think McDermott could be out, and it could mean that Harbaugh might. I saw that somewhere that they would. I mean, it's a rumor, of course, but they might be interested in Harbaugh if it didn't work out. I think that's a part they have to move on, and you have Josh Allen, you have James Cook, you have a solid defense. Like you have to do better than losing in the first round of the playoffs, even if it's on the road. And you're already losing the division. You've already lost the division way sooner than you expected. So there's that. But I do have the Bills winning this game because I'm more confident, and I would think Josh Allen gets it done. I mean, the Bills are, by the way, are 0-8 in the last 33 years on the road in playoffs. That's got to be broken, right? Like I'm a Patriots fan, but I'm being honest. That just seems like that's all the things are stacked against the Bills, and everyone's kind of like goo gaga over the Jags right now, and it just seems like that's a big opportunity for an upset. So I actually have the Bills being the 6th seed, upsetting the Jaguars. Then we have the Patriots and the Chargers. This is the game that I will be the first one ever, especially ever since going 18-1. It hurts me even saying it. But ever since then, I said I would never guarantee any win, right? And so I'm not guaranteeing anything. But this is the one I am the most confident in. Because obviously this is my team and I know my team. But Marlon Hampton might not play. Looks like he didn't practice, so if he is going to play, he's not going to be 100%. We're going to be 100%. or at least more than we were. Milton Williams, we're way better against the run. And if the Chargers can't establish a run, granted, they have Keenan Allen, they have Quentin Johnston, they have Gadsden, they have a lot of good receivers, so I don't think that they won't be in the game. I think it will be a game because, until it's not, like, towards the end of the game, when we might pull away a little bit. But I'm as close as 100% without being 100%, like 95, 96%, maybe higher, 97. We'll go with 97% confident that the Patriots win this game, just because we're healthier than we should. We have got Campbell on the line, also being back present. Travion Henderson's playing really well. Even Mondre. So if both of those players, Mondre just had a huge game. Granted, it was against the Dolphins in a meaningless game, but he still had a huge game. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out and how, the combo works. But yeah, I've got the Patriots winning this one, which would mean that the next matchup would be the Broncos hosting the Bills, the 6 seed Bills, and it would be the Patriots going against the Texans, which is not what I want. I don't want to see the Texans, because if they beat the Steelers, then that probably means that their defense played really, really well, and that's what my fear is. But that would be the matchups: Broncos, Bills, and then Texans, Patriots. And I am not high on the Broncos at all. If you didn't know this, I'm not. I do not think the Broncos are that good. And I will prove you why they're not good right here, so I can have proof. Let's see. I will show stats to prove that. Where are the Broncos at? They're not on this. Dadgummit. Go to this weekend. I'll find them. All right, Broncos. All right. They're one loss to the Jags. We talked about that earlier. Look at these wins. I don't remember if I think they played Jordan Love in that game, so I'll give them that. Chiefs, they played a third-string quarterback and won by 7. 19-3, okay, week 18. I mean, we all know Chargers rested their starters and everything like that. The Raiders only won by 7. Division game on the road, okay, whatever. 27-26 against, once again, not a starting quarterback. Chiefs, once again, I think that's when Mahomes got hurt at the end of that game, I believe. So, I mean, you can give him some credit. Still, once again, close game is my argument there. Texans, which, a lot of people talk 18-15. I mean, that's going to be a defensive battle on the road. Good win. I'm not taking that game away. But once again, no C.J. Stroud that game. So there's just a lot of things that the Broncos, their wins just, give them credit where it's due. You could break the same thing down about the Patriots, I'm sure, but not when it comes to playing mediocre quarterbacks. The Broncos just don't have the team to straight dominate somebody, which is what a lot of people, granted, they dominated the Bengals early in the year. There's some early in the year maybe, but most of their games are against, not top tier quarterbacks and not top tier offenses either. So that's my case for that. So that's why I have 100% if the Bills win this game. I say 100%, but we all know that's probably not safe to say. But I've got the Bills upsetting the Broncos, the 6 seed being the 1 seed, and the Broncos not even winning one playoff game. I also don't think having a bye helps them either. So I have the Broncos losing that game to the Bills, and then it would be Patriots-Texans. And that game terrifies me because of the Texans' defense, so it would depend on how well their defense plays. I'm obviously going to be straight homer right now until I see more from the Texans and say that the Patriots do squeak by and win that game. And then it would be the AFC Championship game. Bills, Patriots, third time a charm. A huge game. Josh Allen finally gets over the hump. He has to beat the Patriots, or the Patriots send Josh Allen home for the 100,000th time. As far as, Josh Allen not making it to the Super Bowl. So, big matchup there. Let's go back on the NFC side. And I'm trying to wrap this up a little bit. So, then we have the Seahawks facing off against the Rams in a divisional rematch. And then we have Bears-Eagles. Now, Bears-Eagles, to me, at that point, I think that's when the run for the Bears ends. I think the Eagles have enough experience to get that one out of the way and winning that one. I don't think their offensive woes will catch up to them just yet, so they'll go back to the NFC Championship game. and it will be Seattle or the Rams, and I think Seattle will beat the Rams once again, and they will beat the Rams to go on to face the Eagles at home in Seattle. Big matchup against the Eagles. So we have Seahawks Eagles, Battle of the Birds, battle of getting back to the Super Bowl, and we have the Bills and Patriots trying to get back. Patriots trying to get back to the Super Bowl for the first time since Tom Brady. First time without Tom Brady, and then the Bills, of course, trying to get over the hump finally, and changing their course. So I like once pushing it all the way back to this game, a big narrative in this game right here. If the Jags win, it changes a lot. So I'll be on next week to talk about that. If the Jags win, there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to that. But I do think that that game is going to matter a lot, and of course the playoffs, and then of course in the grand scheme of things for the Bills franchise and even the Jags franchise as well. So the Jags are kind of playing with house money like us, so I don't think a loss kills them, but kills their momentum or anything like that. But I think they'll be fine. But anyways, Travis Hunter's hurt. There's a lot of things that will be back next year, and they can add more pieces and stuff like that. So Bills Patriots. In that scenario, honestly, Bills Patriots, big time AFC Championship game. Obviously, I'm confident in this Patriots team, but I think that they've overachieved than what they should have done this season. But the way they're playing right now, and then of course beating the Chargers, beating the Texans, that would be a huge lead into that game. But the Bills would have beaten the Jags and the Broncos, and then now they get a divisional opponent. That game to me is, I think I can't unbiasedly pick that game, even if I tried. But I would think in that moment, in that situation, I think the Bills would actually be favored to win that game. I'm not gonna pick. I'm gonna pick the Patriots to win because that's just I'm never gonna pick against them in that scenario. But I think football mind, non-biasedly, I think you would have to give a little edge to the Bills there, even if the game is in New England. I still think the Bills, because they have the playoff experience. So until they're proven to just be the same old Bills. Yeah. So then we have Seattle and the Eagles, and that's a tough matchup. But I think at some point the matchup, I don't think Seattle has what it takes to get there. So they're not as, I'm not as confident in them getting there, I should say. What's up, Aaron? Thank you. I didn't realize it's your first time chatting here, but I appreciate it. And thanks for the follow earlier. But I think it's tough for me to pick them. But then it's also tough for me to pick the Eagles because the Eagles offense has looked atrocious, and the Seahawks defense is good enough to where, would they, it's a tough. Both of these, if this is how it goes, Bills, Patriots, Seahawks, Eagles, to me would make it a tough pick for me. So hopefully it doesn't end up coming down to that as far as just in the grand scheme of things, because it just seems like it would be very two really good games. I'll give you that. So. Anyways, especially winner takes all AFC East matchup, all that kind of thing. So, and obviously, would be way more important than win the division in that moment. So I have to lean to a team that has been there, done that, and there's just too many question marks to me for Seattle to pull it off. So in all actuality, my football mind says Bills Eagles would be the final there, and who would win that matchup? I think in that scenario, because they've proven they could win if they would kick an extra point, the Bills would win that and would win the Super Bowl. But, of course, the bias pick is that the Patriots move on to face the Eagles in their third Super Bowl matchup, which would be insane. Me and Curtis would have a field day, and it would be the rubber match, too, because the Patriots won the first one and the Eagles won the second one. So it would be a lot of fun on that front. And in that front too, I don't know. I don't know who. Honestly, that one's a tough one to call, because if the Eagles get back at that point, their defense is playing good and their offense is playing good enough. I don't know if we have enough tool. I think at that point, I would probably lean towards the Eagles winning, just because, if anything, if it jinxed them, that'd be great. But no, I think the Eagles. It's just think football mind wise. If they're in the Super Bowl versus Drake May, young team, Mike Vrabel, young, first year, there's just so many elements there. I have to be honest and be transparent and be real, like I am with other teams. I think that you would lean Eagles just without having any knowledge of how the playoffs has gone so far, just by picking those teams. So none of this is gonna matter because there's gonna be some matchup and some pick that I pick is gonna be wrong. The Packers might win, if the Jags might win, and it would just shift things up a lot. So, and yeah, Aaron, you said you had Denver or Buffalo versus Seattle. I remember you saying that for sure. So I mean, you're not far off after like really analyzing it. You're not far off. I just don't have any confidence, if you weren't listening earlier, in the Denver Broncos. So, but Buffalo Seattle is literally one of my. I would think it's either Buffalo Seattle, New England Philly, or Buffalo Philly. Being Buffalo Seattle would probably be my third possibility. But I think that the number one possibility to me going in, and this is me putting a lot of, this is good, because both of these teams could lose in the first round. I look like a complete idiot. But Eagles Bills, I think that first matchup, once they win, if the Eagles beat the Niners and the Bills beat the Jags, then my pick looks good. If both of those lose, then it's not so good as at all. But I will say, and I'll kind of end it here. He said I got Jags versus Panthers in the cat fight. Now that would, I mean, for winner take their first Super Bowl would be pretty crazy. That would be, that would probably to me be the most weirdest. I mean, people have predicted that for sure as far as like the weirdest, Super Bowl possibility, happening this year because it's just been one of those years. But I can't really rule out anything except for. I mean, I won't say anything because in respect to the fans this time, I'll be nice this time because I won't be nice the next stream maybe. So I'm in a nice mood tonight. I won't bury a team that I don't think has any shot at making it. But Jags Panthers would be very interesting, for sure. All elite wrestling versus the Carolinas would be something. Something else I was gonna say before I saw your prediction. But anyway, so we'll see. Like I said, I don't like, breaking down the bracket because it's just so many things can change based on your picks. So of course I'll come on and talk about, even if it's just briefly, we'll talk. Maybe I'll be with the other guys, and they can, spit their knowledge on that a little bit more. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the games this weekend. Let's get an live update real quick on the Ole Miss Miami game, which is probably at halftime. It is at halftime. So, Ole Miss scored, got a field goal. So 17-13 Miami over Ole Miss currently at halftime. We'll see if Big Rats Miami Hurricanes can get it done and go to the championship to face either Oregon, which is Aaron's Oregon, or Indiana, neither of which have never won a championship. So that would be huge. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching this special edition of YouTube Take. I may be back later with a little bit of streaming of Fortnite, depending on how I feel. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you guys will. I will most likely upload this to YouTube if I get a chance tomorrow. I hope I will, for the sake of just getting it out there. But we'll see how that goes because, my brain. But all right. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you guys later with a video game stream. But those are not watching on Twitch or watching on YouTube, appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back with all three hopefully in the near future. Peace.